Oh, this is the... You had to just fiddle with it.
Hi, this is Granny and Grandpa's house. It's Sunday, May 19th, 1996. And today I'm going to show you around Grandpa's garden, and we're also going to watch Granny make some chicken and dumplings. And later on we're going to go over to Aunt Barbara's house and watch have an 80th birthday party for Grandpa. So, here we go. Okay, we're going through Grandpa's garden, and his sister Dorothy is here. She is coming to the birthday party with us, and Grandpa is showing her the garden right now. I'm going to go to the far edge of it and kind of look out over it. This is the whole side lot of his house. And there we are. And there's Grandpa telling Dorothy about some of the things. Pretty extensive garden. It's been this big for several years now. I want you to tell us about your garden.
It's all out there.
Yeah. So what are you growing this year?
Just a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Give it a name. I got a dozen varieties of okra, tomatoes, squash, cucumbers.
Peas and beans.
Peas and beans, plenty of them. And cucumbers, squash, cabbage.
You want to take us through the rows and show us?
Huh?
You want to take us through the rows and show us?
Done what?
Take us down here and show us what you're growing.
Oh,
These look like some...
that's a few watermelons over there. And this is cabbage here.
This is cabbage?
And that's my cantaloupes.
Down at the end.
And this my
These look like tomatoes.
collards.
Collards, okay.
And this is tomatoes.
Okay.
This is these pinto beans I planted about 2 or 3 days ago.
Uh-huh.
She wanted some.
Uh-huh.
And that's my bell pepper. And I got a few hot peppers.
Are these the ones that are right here starting to...
Yeah.
Okay.
And these my whole lima beans, big old speckle ones.
Ah, so you got the poles already ready to go, right?
Yeah, I got the stakes down there.
Uh-huh.
See, I put them up there like that.
Uh-huh.
I put one on that side, one on this side. And them little old wires there keep them sliding.
Can I walk down this row right here?
Huh?
Can I walk down right here?
You walk down there.
Okay.
Now you got it.
So what else do we have down here?
Huh?
What else do we have down here?
That's my speckled lima bean.
Uh-huh.
That's my big old giant white bean. It's butter bean.
So did you start these from seed, or did you buy them at the store?
What?
Did you start them from seed, or did you buy them at the store?
I started this all with seed here.
Uh-huh.
You don't buy that at the store.
Uh-huh.
You get that bell pepper, tomatoes, cabbage, and okra, and cucumbers, and squash.
Uh-huh.
You can get that, but that's about it.
Yeah. So did you start them from seeds in little pots and then you transferred them into the garden, or did you just put them in the...
Most everything I just planted it come up.
Uh-huh. So What else do? You just keep them weeded? Are you using any sprays or anything?
No. And my neighbor, him and his wife was looking at it.
Uh-huh.
And she turned around to him and said, "You know what? Richard's making good housekeeping." He looked at her and said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you don't see no grass or weeds or nothing in the whole garden."
Right.
And you don't. I don't. I keep it.
So do you have to fertilize the soil or anything?
Well, I put a little topsoil and I get them bags of cow manure
Uh-huh.
and I mix it up.
Is this an apple tree or something?
Yeah, it's apple.
It's the apple tree.
But I imagine
A few little
there's
apples
several on there.
coming in right there, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cats is out there and I'm scared of
Are you scared of the cats?
cats. No,
Okay. Where's your gray hair at?
Well, Grandpa, the soil looks like it's in really good shape. Do you have to do anything else to it? Do you grow things in different places each year?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I got a little bit of everything.
Oh.
Yeah, that frost gives me that cold weather just to get all of it. They're falling off like that. Supposed to be
Well, they have their own idea. Right?
it's crooked like that, and then it'll flop up and got a half a pea on each side,
They like it, huh?
and they pluck that bean and they get that bud and all that's left is just a little old stem.
So how do you keep the birds from getting them?
I just put a string down through there and put some of them shopping bags on it, and the wind will blow it, and the birds won't
Dick,
come
when
in.
we was growing up, we didn't do that.
No.
What'd y'all do when you were growing up, Aunt Dorothy?
We just went out and worked in the garden. And birds, I guess they had enough to eat without it.
Uh-huh.
I guess.
How big was your garden?
Oh, Mother had a big garden because there was 8 of us kids.
Wow.
There was really 9 of us.
So did you grow everything you ate?
Yeah. We sure did.
So did she have a garden most of the year?
Yes.
We had a smokehouse, we called it, and it was a pole down through there, and there's hams and shoulders and everything hanging on there cured.
So did y'all have your own pigs?
Yeah.
And you had to butcher them?
Yes.
And Mama would have 300 or 400 jars of fruit, vegetables, jellies, and jams.
Wow.
And
You know who helped? We did.
Yeah.
We helped.
So do you still do that kind of stuff now?
No, not for one. Buster and I never did do it, my husband and I.
we lived on a farm and
Where'd you live on a farm?
out from Dardanelle.
Uh-huh.
And
In
The only-
Wildcat Holler.
the only thing that we went to the store and bought was flour, sugar, and coffee.
Uh-huh.
That's about the only 3 things we bought. We had that smokehouse, we called it,
Uh-huh.
full of dried beans and popcorn and peanuts.
So you dried beans from the garden that you grew?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We just leave them on the vines till they got dry, and then we'd shell them
Uh-huh.
and put them in there. And we had corn. We'd shell that corn and take it to the mill and have it ground.
Uh-huh.
The only thing we bought was flour, sugar, and coffee.
That was good old cornmeal too.
Yeah.
You made the corn?
They did it at the where they took a whole corn and
How far was the store from where you lived?
Oh, it's about 6 or 7 miles to town.
Uh-huh.
There was a store closer than that.
So did you have a car, or how'd you get there?
Wagon and mules and wagon.
Uh-huh.
And it was all in the late 20s before we got a car.
Uh-huh.
And
Is that right?
of course, late 20s, well, I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Uh-huh. Well, Aunt Dorothy, how old are you?
I'm 2 years and 2 months younger than Dick.
Okay, so you haven't had your 80th birthday yet, have you?
No. I'm waiting on it though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you slow up a little bit when you get
What?
slow up a little bit.
I didn't know this.
So, Grandpa, how do you feel about turning 80?
Well, I don't feel any different than I did 3 or 4 years ago. I tell you what, I've worked hard in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked all kind of 10 to 18 hours a day, and get up early and go to bed late. And I mean, I wore the roads out in this whole state.
I've worked longer than you have.
You still working?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is my 56th year license.
Wow.
I've worked 56 years.
Where are you working?
Oh, I have my own beauty shop.
Oh.
I don't work that much anymore.
Uh-huh.
It's only by choice
Well,
now. But I keep my license.
Uh-huh.
Shop and operator's license both.
I worked 43 years in a dairy.
Well, we worked on the farm.
And I tell you what, I've seen all my kids through college, every one of them.
I did mine too.
I mean, there was 6 of them, and all 6 of them got a college education.
Well, that's great.
And I mean, I foot all of the bills. And I managed.
We worked on the farm. We had to pick cotton and hoe cotton.
Cotton?
Yeah, sure we did.
Wow. Is that how y'all made money?
Yes.
You sold cotton?
Yes.
Mhm.
Daddy farmed.
What did your parents do?
That's what they did, farm.
To raise cotton?
And,
They farmed and had kids.
you'd work 10 hours for $1
Uh-huh.
on the farm back then. $1 a day.
I sent myself through beauty college. I graduated here in Little Rock. And I went to work. I wouldn't do it now.
Uh-huh.
I went to Hot Springs. I knew nobody. And this woman met me, and I went to work in her beauty shop.
I went and put on some dark pants.
Then I bought my own shop
Uh-huh.
in 1945.
Wow.
I graduated in 41.
Long time to be working.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed it.
That's good.
But you know what? I looked at that appointment book, directory of the customers I did, do you know, they're gone.
Mm-hmm. And Grandpa, what were you getting ready to say about your pants?
I said,
Dark pants. And
I got-
besides, you burn a hole in them right there, dear.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I burnt that or what.
Do you have any other pants?
Oh, well, why not?
I got a closet full of them.
I like dark clothes. See, I'm purple and blue and what color am I?
You're all colors, blue and black and white.
I put on a flowery dress and I couldn't stand it. I
I
took it
thought
off.
you had a flag dress.
Well,
Out onto the porch. She's joined us. She's already in her party best.
You know where this I wore this to the brunch for your wedding.
Oh, that Saturday morning?
Sunday morning. What, Saturday morning?
Yeah. We're gonna go in and make some chicken and dumplings?
Yeah, I've got the broth to get warm, but Huh? I made that up. I bought some plants at Kmart's in Russellville when we went up there to Shirley's birthday and Marshall's anniversary. I made that up, and I made this one up. What you?
Be sure.
Here we go in.
Well, Jean, if I can help you, I will.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but really, I'm not going to do anything else but make these dumplings.
Okay, I'm going to sit out here on the porch and
Hey, out there where it's cool, you might as well enjoy that breeze.
I'm going to bust the dig.
Oh, Richard. He did.
When y'all was going to school and everything, and come to stay a day or a week or so with me, why, we did everything. And I always wanted to do more for y'all than maybe I did. But
Oh, I think you did a lot for us. You still do.
It's just like when you was going to school up there, I told you where to go to get your checks cashed with one of my old friends.
Yeah.
And just things like that, but I always appreciate doing it. But old Simon.
Richard, shut throw this out.
I'm going out here to see what Dick's doing.
Yeah, it's cool and nice right there.
Oh, I don't mind the food.
I start with 3 eggs.
So is this a recipe that you just made up, or did you learn it from your mom?
No, the way I got the idea from this was from Betty. Something I read from Betty Crocker put out a long time ago. She said, put eggs in your dumplings instead of crisps, because that makes them tender. Filling the flour here. And then I just tried it, and I've just been doing it ever since, I guess.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, probably 25 or 30 years at least.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So a lot of your kids got to reap the benefits of these dumplings, right?
Charles told me to make a freezer up and leave it for him when I was full, leave it for him when I wasn't here anymore. And I take 3 cups of flour.
Do you just measure that by
I measure
eye?
3 cups of flour with this sifter right here. And this sifter's probably 50 years old at least.
Well, a lot of the old stuff works a lot better than what they come out with
this
now.
new stuff. I'm just not carried away with this new stuff at all.
Mm-hmm. So you got your broth on the stove here?
Yeah, the broth has to come to a boil. It has to be to a hard rolling boil when you put the dumplings in it.
Did you cook that last night?
I cooked it all night. I put it on at 10 o'clock and I kept it on real low heat all night long, and my chicken was cooked onto the bone this morning. Now, I don't measure my salt, but for this much flour, it would take probably about a teaspoonful and a half of flour. I mean of salt. Now then, I just take a spoon and I mix this up as much as I can. And then I take whatever I need. I'll just take enough water. And I get this mixed to make as stiff as dough I can. And then I roll it out, put it in the broth. So just very simple. Scott said he tried to make it, but his didn't work out.
Well, you've written down the recipe for me a couple of times, but I just haven't gotten around to trying to make them.
Well, it's really, to to me, there's a lot more complicated things to cook than these dumplings.
In North Carolina, they call this pastry, since it's flat.
Yeah.
They call the chicken dumplings, the dumplings are, you know, the round ball dumplings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it took me a long time to figure out what chicken and pastry was. It was the same thing as what you
Come
had.
in, come in.
Hey!
Oh, hi, Jennifer.
How are you doing, Shirley?
I'm doing fine, good.
Good to see
How are
you.
you?
Oh.
Michael didn't get to come.
Yeah, Michael's at Barbara's. We're preserving chicken and dumplings for
My other
posterity.
nephew,
Oh, you're
Michael.
talking about your nephew.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah.
No, he didn't. He called me last night about 9:30, and when he called yesterday, and so they'd already called him.
Don't have enough. You just use enough water to make a real stiff dough.
Uh-huh.
And then you roll it out, and that's all there is to it. Well, he can't even say that this
Yeah.
kid coming by from the store selling it.
Aunt
for the school
Shirley,
or church.
Yeah,
you're Granny's sister, right?
I am Granny's sister,
Are you her younger sister?
youngest.
What
yes.
number are you?
Well, God in the family, I'd have to say,
you're-
I think number nine.
you're number nine.
Nine.
So you're almost the baby.
I'm the baby.
Let's
You are the
see.
baby.
I belong to the Widows Club, and that's what they say. Oh, you're the baby. I said, God. Old gray-headed baby, I'm here too. But, you know, some of them are like 80 and 90.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I am the baby.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna give Grandpa his birthday present.
Okay. Tell me about, you've added enough water to make it into...
See there, I've made it that stiff a dough. See there?
Uh-huh.
Now then I'm gonna get my pastry sheet there. Roll it out on. Put some flour on it. He's younger than
He's younger than
Betty's
Shirley?
age. He's Betty's age.
Uh-huh.
know, but I put back, you don't need that, you just want to stay in the room. Are you gonna stay out?
So how old was Shirley when when you had Rick? He's the oldest, right?
Oh, she's about 6 or 7. Oh, yeah, Rick will be 50. He'll be 56 in October.
Uh-huh.
And see, she's just 3 years older than he is. She's
Okay.
59.
So how old were you when you had Rick?
17.
Wow. Y'all didn't wait very long, did you?
Nope, we didn't.
You got down to business
I
real
wrote
soon.
up-
Old days, back in the good old days. Now,
Okay.
if you want to say something, Jennifer, your grandpa and his peanut brittle, he's got her just cramping in with both hands. He loves it.
So you put a bunch of flour on the
Yeah,
pastry
now
board?
you watch me what I do here while I... Yes, you have to put flour on it.
So you got to make it dry enough to roll.
You got to make it dry enough to roll out, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
He's hunting new cats, that's what he's hunting.
Okay, Granny. So you're mixing in the
I'm
flour.
mixing in the flour, see here. And you work enough flour in it where the dough won't stick to your hands.
You watched her make this a bunch.
I made it, I had to make, was it
Jennifer
Christmas
made
when
it
I had,
Christmas.
when I had to
Shirley
make it
did.
Christmas because she
Because I was
was
sick.
sick. She couldn't make it, so she gave me step-by-step instructions. And they ate them, so I guess they was okay.
Then see, you pinch it up in pieces like this.
So you do it in several pieces so you can roll them
Yeah, you
out.
see, you couldn't roll all of this out at one time because you need to roll it out as thin as you possibly can.
Uh-huh.
Because the thinner you roll it, the better it'll be. So just, Shirley, you might as well enjoy that breeze out there. If you,
I'm going to.
this is all I'm gonna do when I get this in here. This is that a boiling? I don't think my
Not
broth's
yet.
boiling. Will you turn that up turn that up for me to high? Yeah. Now,
Oh, it's starting to boil though. It looks like it's getting.
time I get this,
Oh, here we go.
maybe time I get
It's
this.
rolling just beneath the surface.
Okay. Okay. Now then.
I see you have a gas stove. Is that what you prefer?
Well, not really. But there's only certain, that's a drop-in stove, it's not built in.
Mm-hmm.
There's only certain stoves you can put in there. You have to.
So it looks
really-
like you're cutting your dumplings into about, what, inch-long strips?
Well, see, they're about an inch wide, and then I'll show you. I'll cut them crossways again in just a minute. See, you cut them in strips, about like that.
Okay. So it looks like they're about 3 or 4 inches wide. 3 or 4 inches long.
They're
Yeah.
about an inch wide, about. And you just take them, put them in there a few at a time in your broth.
Yeah, how long do you let this cook?
Well, it don't need to cook very long, just by the time you get them. What I usually do, when I get all of mine in here, I let them boil maybe a couple of minutes,
Uh-huh.
then I turn the fire off and put a lid on them, and they finish cooking. If you overcook them, they're not good. Then I'm ready to do another batch.
So you just keep doing this for all the dumplings? that
Yeah,
you-
until you get all of them made up and put in the broth while you just keep on. And if you run out of flour on your board, on your pastry sheets, you have to keep on adding flour.
Uh-huh. So how'd you make the broth last night, Granny? Did you just take a
I
whole
just-
chicken
I
and
cooked the
cut
whole,
it up?
I just cut the chicken up, put it on the stove, I
big
let it get started to boiling real good.
How big of a chicken do you get?
Well, that's a hen. A hen makes better dumplings than a fryer.
Uh-huh.
If you use a fryer, you need to add some chicken bouillon cubes because that makes you a richer broth.
Uh-huh.
And a fryer don't have as richer and as good a taste as made from.
So do you try to get a hen?
I used a hen that weighed about 5 pounds to make these dumplings.
Uh-huh. That's a lot bigger than they used to be.
Hens,
Yeah.
well, now Kroger's got them on sale this week. I'm gonna get me another one and put it in the freezer. They got them on sale for 39 cents.
So you put them in, you put the chicken in water, the hen in water?
Yeah, after you cut it up, I had that pot nearly full of water. It was about 2.5 inches from the top.
Uh-huh.
Well, see, by cooking it real low all night, well, then your broth don't boil away.
And it gets really
And
concentrated?
yeah, and your chicken gets real tender.
Uh-huh.
Your chicken gets real tender where you can,
So do you add any more water to the broth, or do you just, is that
not
what
unless you
use?
need it.
Uh-huh.
That's why, now I hadn't added anything at all to it. It's just like, I took the skin off of the chicken and boned it out, got the bones out of it.
Uh-huh.
And
So then you'll add the meat at the end. It's not in there right now, right?
no, the meat's in here this time. Sometimes
Oh.
I take it, sometimes I take it out.
Uh-huh.
If there's a lot of it, I do.
Uh-huh.
But after I got my skin and the bones and, you know, the part I didn't want left in here.
Mm-hmm. So you put all your dumplings in the broth now.
Yeah. And when these finish